Yara Za could be facing deportation from the United States, and the shockwaves are already hitting everyone around her. Imagine building your life, your career, and your family in a country only to find that your legal status is suddenly under a microscope. That's exactly what's happening, allegedly, as USCIS reportedly flags her green card for review. And yes, this isn't just paperwork drama. It's a full-blown crisis that could change her life and her family's future forever. The panic isn't contained to legal teams or bureaucratic offices. Joy is reportedly in full crisis mode, calling lawyers, scrambling for documents, pacing through hotel hallways, and thinking about one thing: keeping his family together. The tension is palpable, and you can almost feel it through every report and insider claim. If even one detail goes wrong, the family could be split, and Yara could be forced to leave the country she's worked so hard to build her life in. Hey everyone, I'm Jessica from Reality Spots. Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest updates, gossip, and behind-the-scenes drama from 90 Day Fiancé. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Yara can actually stay? Or is this the beginning of an impossible fight? Now, think about the stakes for a second. Can she prove her residency in time? Will Joy and their daughter Mila be able to stay together if USCIS rules against her? How will this shake the 90 Day Fiancé universe and the show's storyline? Every day counts, every document matters, and the pressure is mounting. This isn't a distant threat, it's allegedly happening right now, and the clock is ticking. Sources suggest the crisis began when routine immigration paperwork triggered warnings and questions about her travel history, her time in the U.S., and the legitimacy of her residency. What started as a standard review has allegedly turned into a full-blown emergency. Every flight, every extended trip, every signature missing or delayed could now be scrutinized. Yara's typically confident, on-camera personality has reportedly been replaced with fear and anxiety, while Joy's protective instincts are on overdrive. They're both trying to handle this privately, but the pressure is impossible to hide. And here's where it gets even more intense. USCIS documents, allegedly leaked to production insiders, have started circulating behind the scenes. The details of Yara's case aren't just confidential. They're creating waves across the set, leaving cast, crew, and fans on edge. The situation is escalating faster than anyone anticipated, and nobody knows exactly how it will play out. Being flagged by USCIS is not a small thing. It's the kind of red flag that turns ordinary paperwork into a ticking time bomb. When your green card is under review, it's like the entire system is watching your every move, double-checking every trip, every form, every signature. Allegedly, that's exactly what happened with Yara. Sources say her travel history, lease agreements, and even minor inconsistencies in documents have drawn scrutiny, and now every detail matters more than ever. Administrative review is not something you breeze through. It's a process where officials go line by line, checking dates, cross-referencing entries, and asking for proof that your life is actually based in the United States. Extended trips abroad, missing signatures, unclear residency evidence, any one of these can trigger follow-up requests. And it's not just paperwork. It can come with travel restrictions that suddenly make even a routine trip feel impossible. Every flight, every hotel stay, every minor oversight can now be a risk. Joy reportedly hasn't been sleeping. He's allegedly spending late nights collecting bank statements, phone records, lease documents, and airline tickets. Everything that could prove Yara's ties to the U.S. is under scrutiny, and nothing is too small. Imagine pacing a hotel hallway at 2 a.m., phone pressed to your ear, explaining invoices and receipts to a lawyer while worrying that a single overlooked paper could undo everything. That's allegedly the reality for Joy right now. Meanwhile, Yara is feeling the pressure in a way fans rarely see on screen. Her usual charm and confidence have been replaced with tension and anxiety, and insiders say she's spending hours confirming that every document, every photo, every proof of residency is in order. Every conversation with her legal team carries the weight of potential disaster. The emotional toll is enormous, and the clock is unrelenting. What evidence could actually save Yara? Could one missed detail, one misfiled document, erase years of effort in the blink of an eye? The uncertainty is crushing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The hours stretch into sleepless nights, the documents pile higher, and every small action feels like it could tip the scales. Joy and Yara are locked in a frantic cycle of proof, preparation, and panic, trying to show that their lives are rooted in the United States. The pressure is relentless, the consequences are real, and the emotional weight is impossible to ignore. Fans might see them smiling on set, but off camera, this is survival mode at its most intense. And the next move could change everything. And as the administrative review reportedly continues, every update brings a new surge of anxiety. One wrong step could trigger a travel ban or a denial, and the family's future is hanging by a thread. Joy is reportedly in full protective mode, and it's easy to see why. Every call to a lawyer, every frantic check of documents, every late-night scramble is driven by one thing: keeping his family together. Sources claim he's obsessed with the what-ifs. What if USCIS denies Yara's residency? What if their daughter Mila has to grow up separated from her mother? What if years of building a life here are erased in a single ruling? Allegedly, the fear isn't abstract. It's physical. Reports say Joy paces endlessly, phone pressed to his ear, listing receipts, invoices, and proof that their lives are firmly planted in the United States. Meanwhile, Yara is feeling the weight of the situation in ways fans rarely see. On camera, she keeps her composure, cracking small jokes and staying polite, but behind the scenes, insiders say she's struggling to keep it together. Hours spent confirming travel logs, checking forms, and coordinating with lawyers reportedly leave her exhausted and anxious. Every minor detail of her life, the trips to Ukraine, her time spent in Europe, even small inconsistencies in paperwork, is suddenly under a microscope, and she feels the walls closing in. The family tension extends beyond the couple. Reports suggest family members have voiced their worries, offering warnings that Yara allegedly brushed off at first. Allegedly, Joy found himself caught between protecting Yara and listening to his family, mediating advice and warnings while trying to maintain focus on the legal battle. The pressure is compounded by the presence of cameras, production schedules, and the public eye. Even normal conversations reportedly feel like high-stakes negotiations when every word and action could be scrutinized later. Think about this. What would you do if your ability to live in the country you call home suddenly depended on piles of documents, proof of presence, and airtight legal arguments? How would fear, love, and responsibility collide when the stakes include your partner, your child, and your future? The situation is layered and tense. Allegedly, Yara's travel history, extended trips abroad, and missing or delayed signatures on key forms keep surfacing as points of concern. Every piece of advice from lawyers, every new document gathered, every record checked opens another question. Is it enough? Are there still gaps? And as Joy organizes evidence for submission, the weight of potential failure reportedly grows heavier by the hour. The tension is relentless. On set, smiles hide anxiety. Off camera, tears, whispers, and frantic discussions reportedly dominate. The family is trapped in a storm of legal scrutiny, emotional strain, and the fear that a single misstep could unravel everything. And just when it feels like they're catching up, a new threat reportedly emerges. USCIS might escalate if any document is missing, unclear, or contradictory. Will the evidence they've worked so hard to collect be enough to satisfy officials? Or is this only the beginning of a crisis that could spiral further out of control? On camera, Yara and Joy maintain a polished image. Fans see smiles, playful banter, and the seemingly smooth rhythm of a couple navigating life together. But sources claim that off-camera, the reality is completely different. Anxiety reportedly hangs over every interaction, and even routine moments, walking to a hotel, rehearsing lines, or coordinating shots, are reportedly charged with tension. What appears effortless on screen allegedly masks a storm of panic and fear. Production insiders say crew members have noticed subtle shifts. Joy, who usually exudes calm, is reportedly more jumpy, double-checking schedules, questioning whether previous flights or extended trips could be used against them. Yara, meanwhile, is said to retreat at times, quietly reviewing documents or conferring with legal counsel in whispers. The cameras catch none of this, but those present claim the stress is palpable. Allegedly, even small mistakes on set feel magnified because they know officials might be scrutinizing their every action. Leaked behind-the-scenes moments reportedly show Yara sitting alone in green rooms, reviewing paperwork, or taking long phone calls that end in whispered frustration. Joy is seen pacing, frustrated that production schedules might be exacerbating the situation. Every decision, from agreeing to travel for filming to where they eat meals on set, is reportedly weighed against how it might appear in their immigration case. In other words, the show isn't just capturing their lives, it's inadvertently intensifying the stakes. Behavioral patterns emerge under this kind of pressure. Experts often point out that high-stress situations reveal priorities, coping strategies, and interpersonal dynamics. Allegedly, Joy leans heavily on organization and control, while Yara appears to internalize anxiety, focusing on managing details and mitigating risks. Observers say these reactions are normal under duress, and yet they offer a rare, unfiltered look at how a couple adapts when the public and legal scrutiny collide. The contrast is stark. Viewers see charm, energy, and flirtation. Behind the camera, sources claim tension, fear, and relentless strategizing dominate their days. Allegedly, the pressure of filming while dealing with a potential legal crisis is pushing both of them to their limits, revealing cracks, strengths, and vulnerabilities that a normal episode could never convey. And here's the twist. How they navigate these moments may tell us more about their bond than any scene edited for TV. Can Joy's protectiveness and Yara's meticulous attention to detail survive this pressure? Or will the strain reveal fractures in their relationship that the cameras will eventually capture? The answers remain unknown, and the stakes just keep climbing. The pressure reportedly escalates as Yara and Joy allegedly dive into a frantic scramble for proof. Bank statements, lease agreements, utility bills, phone records, airline tickets, even photos of daily life. Sources claim nothing is too small to be considered. Every document is examined, organized, and cross-checked, all in a race against the ticking clock of USCIS deadlines. Timing isn't just important, it's everything. Missing one form, one signature, or one date could allegedly undo weeks of effort and push them closer to the brink. The stakes are intense. Allegedly, Yara's travel history is under scrutiny. Months spent abroad, overlapping trips, and gaps in residency documentation are all reportedly points of concern. Joy allegedly tracks every move, every payment, and every record that could demonstrate their life is based in the United States. The goal is simple in theory. Prove residency, prove marriage legitimacy, and prove continuity of life. But in practice, it's exhausting, relentless, and emotionally draining. Insiders say even minor errors could become catastrophic. Missing signatures on renewal forms, small discrepancies in travel logs, or incomplete receipts could trigger further investigation. Allegedly, the pressure of knowing that one tiny mistake could snowball into a denial keeps both Yara and Joy on edge, pacing, double-checking, and triple-checking every detail. Even a photo or a document taken out of context could be interpreted as evidence of non-compliance. Behaviorally, the couple reportedly splits responsibilities. Joy allegedly manages logistics, gathering, filing, and communicating with lawyers, while Yara meticulously reviews documents for accuracy and completeness. Sources say this division allows them to cover more ground, but also magnifies the stress. Every missed beat feels like a step closer to disaster. And here's the retention line you can't skip. Every record they submit, every signature they verify, Every photo of daily life isn't just a piece of paper. It could be the difference between staying together in the US or facing a life-altering separation. The urgency is relentless, and the pressure is only growing. Meanwhile, experts watching the situation reportedly emphasize that USCIS doesn't just glance at documents. They scrutinize, question, and follow up. Allegedly, the legitimacy of the marriage itself is under review. Every shared address, joint bank account, and family photo is potentially evidence, but it must be flawless, consistent, and verifiable. The emotional toll reportedly reaches a breaking point. Sources claim Yara has been privately crying in green rooms, whispering fears that no one on camera sees. Each phone call with a lawyer allegedly leaves her more anxious, as she questions whether every document, every photo, every signature is truly enough to prove her life in the US. Meanwhile, Joy is reportedly consumed by panic, pacing hallways, speaking rapidly on the phone, and obsessively double-checking files. The desperation to protect his family is tangible, and every move feels like it carries life-altering consequences. Family pressure adds another layer of intensity. Allegedly, relatives have warned Yara about her extended travel abroad, cautioning that repeated trips could jeopardize her residency. Joy reportedly finds himself stuck in the middle, trying to calm Yara while weighing the advice of his family. Tensions reportedly flare behind the scenes as protective instincts collide with reality, forcing split-second decisions that could either safeguard the family or intensify the crisis. Psychologically, what they are experiencing is extreme. Fear of loss is reportedly overwhelming. Loss of home, stability, and the life they've built. Anxiety reportedly spikes with every email, every call from an attorney, every reminder that one small mistake could have outsized consequences. High-stakes decision-making is no longer hypothetical. It's a constant, unrelenting reality that both reportedly face daily. Allegedly, even mundane actions, checking emails, organizing receipts, reviewing travel logs, carry a weight that most people never experience. Sources claim Yara and Joy are forced to balance these private crises with public appearances, a dual performance that reportedly intensifies stress. On camera, smiles and energy mask internal chaos, while behind the scenes, tears, whispered fears, and frantic strategizing reportedly dominate. Every decision feels like a gamble, and every small error could potentially trigger a legal nightmare. Retention booster line: every misplaced receipt, every overlooked signature, every tiny inconsistency isn't just paperwork, it's potentially the difference between staying together in the US and facing separation. The emotional stakes are as high as the legal ones, and the tension reportedly never lets up. The couple reportedly lives with the constant fear that USCIS could escalate the situation at any moment. Allegedly, even after days of document gathering and legal consultations, the family feels like they are walking on a knife's edge. Could one small error, one tiny oversight, undo all their efforts? Could a misfiled form or a minor discrepancy trigger deportation and tear this family apart?